Good morning, everybody. How are we doing this morning? 7 a.m. here, New Zealand time. If you just want to throw in the chat where you're from, that would be fantastic. Today we've got a very cool subject. True nature and purpose. Why we are here. Living in alignment with our true nature and purpose. Our fullest expression of who we are and what we are, which is so powerful. So we'll just wait a couple of minutes for some others to pop in if they're coming along. Then we can get started. Excuse me. Oh, awesome. Good evening from the UK. Oh, lovely, Wendy. Great to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us. So grateful that you're here, and it's so cool to really be able to share this work with you all, because it's a fantastic way to create, is to come from your superconscious. And obviously we'll talk about more of that shortly, but your superconscious is your field of information. It is you. It's your connection to intuition. It's who you are. It's your memories passed down from family. It's everything about you. So yeah, that's absolutely fantastic. All the way from Saskatchewan. Awesome. Snowy. Oh, that sounds awesome. Nice and chilly. Lovely. Excellent. Well, glad to have you here. I'm so grateful you're here, as I mentioned before, because I love sharing this work. And it's so cool about this group, because we're able just to share this free content in the group, so you can all just get the wins out of it and actually really experience it. Because it's certainly, when I first came across this work, I'd been on that journey to try and create a program where I could remove past traumatic memories and experiences from myself and others, so you could actually just have an easy life. Because sometimes you notice these people just flowing through life, and I wanted to have that and understand how I got what was in the way and what actually was the pain, everything was got it that created it to caused me to not be able to take action on what I loved. I certainly had some great success in my life and built some awesome businesses and some cool stuff, but I still used to have this feeling of this pain of anxiety and being around people, and that feeling of not being able to get into groups and communities, which is that don't belong. So I went and found this work and got studied, got certified in it, and it really changed my life, actually realizing that we have a third consciousness. And when you think about it, it makes so much sense, because we need to have information from somewhere. We need to know what we're going to look like. And we didn't have the information passed down from mum and dad, we'd all look the same. Imagine if we all looked the same, we all had brown eyes and brown hair, and we all looked exactly the same. There'd be no difference between us. What a crazy world that would be. That would be like all the teenagers in the world between the age of 13 and 16, that everything they thought about, they created, just came true. I mean, imagine that. It would be a crazy experience. So we know that we have to have information. We know that there is a superconscious out there. And one way to describe it is really like a hard drive in your computer. You simply log into it, you go into it, you get the information you need, and then you take the action and move on. That's exactly your superconscious. The superconscious is a passed down information of memories from your mum and your dad. So it gives you the looks, gives you traits, it gives you everything from your genes, your DNA. But it also, depending on your parents' experience in life, it gives you their passed down memories. So sometimes we can have a memory passed down and not be serving us, but we just can't figure it out. We can do a lot of work around it, and that's because it's passed down from family memories, and sometimes we can get entangled in that. So it's really important to clear those as well. And the reason why we have these memories from our parents is because it's all about human survival. As a generational species, we are born to survive. That's what we're here for. And that's what's so powerful excuse me, about our unconscious, because our second conscious, our unconscious, or some people call it the subconscious, whatever, there's no right or wrong. It's all about survival. It's all about keeping your heart pumping. It's all about digesting your food. It's all about keeping you breathing when you sleep. It's all about survival, keeping things the same, which is keeping you safe. So when we have patterns or memories from childhood traumatic experiences, or things that didn't happen to us, they don't have to be bad. It could be, as a child, we fell off a bike or rolled off the bed, or the kids laughed at us or picked on us, and we put up a memory that something's not good. Don't do that again. It's uncomfortable. It hurt. It had pain. Then we'll spend the rest of our life trying to solve that and figure that out, because it's a pattern there, a memory with your superconscious, your unconscious, to stop us getting ourselves in that same situation. It's not trying to make us feel painful or put us through the pain. It's trying to protect us so we don't go there again. When we simply remove that and turn it into wisdom, which you're going to get to experience today, we simply then can take action and not have that emotion and feeling attached to the memory. So yeah, there's superconscious attachment or connection to intuition, which is also very powerful. So in this work, we teach you to come from intuition, step into your intuition, understand your intuition. It's a very powerful thing. And it is an activation, a connection to source, and it's a muscle in your brain, and you can actually activate. And once you've been in intuition and using it long enough, life just becomes intuitive, and that's really, really powerful too. So you just live in intuition and all the information's there. So like that hard drive in the computer, when you're going to take action, especially in your true nature and purpose, your intuition has all the right information for you. You just have to step into it, ask for it, use it, and then take the action on it, because your superconscious wants you to have the best quality of life. It wants to give you all the information to have a quality of life, so you can go out there and be your predominant creative force, your true nature and purpose, live a life you love, be health and vital, and just go out there and take action, whatever it might be. Now we obviously have, as I quickly mentioned, the unconscious memories and stuff get in the way and stop us doing that, but we can still create from our superconscious. We can still be in that intuition, taking the action around that, because it wants us to have the quality of life. And if we're not being intuitive around our work and our ethics and our actions, then that's when we're going to start running into problems. We're going to start falling back into being stuck or being isolating, and that is dysfunctional, as we know. So we do not want to be dysfunctional. And what I mean by dysfunctional, for those of you who may have not watched the education video, the Facebook page at the top, it's anything that's not creating, not taking action. So you might be needing to know the answer and you're overthinking too much. It might be that you have a sabotaging belief, don't belong, not good enough, so you're always trying to do more. Not capable, you're always buying more programs or buying more things, so you can feel like you are capable, but you never actually finish the program or finish the job because you're too busy having the belief that you're not capable, but you buy it to be capable, but then you can't finish it. Might be not worthy, so you're always trying to do things for others to make yourself feel worthiness. It might be that you don't feel like you're perfect, so you're always trying to be perfect, so you have the perfect house to make up for the imperfections, thinking that you are not perfect. Or not significant, which is a very, very common in the third child of a family. The third one doesn't get the attention like the other two do, or lonely, or a single child, or simply just didn't fit in at school or into the family scenario. So yeah, so you can have a sabotaging belief as dysfunction. You could have a fear, the fear of, I'll just throw this on Facebook for a second, the fear of success, for example. You may have that fear, like, I just cannot, what if I am successful? What will everybody think if I go out there and put myself out there and be my true nature and purpose? How will people acknowledge that and feel that? You might have the fear of failure. What will others say? What will my family say if I get it wrong? There can be so many things out there in regards to dysfunctional patterns. Victim mentality, poor me, poor P, is another dysfunctional pattern. So we have quite a few there, which is cool. So yeah, so really when we want to live our true nature and purpose, it's all about making that choice, that decision, and going for it and taking the action. And some of you may be doing that. Some of you may be even looking to try and figure out what your true nature and purpose is, like I was. It was only 4 or 5 years ago. I was still searching to create all of this. And I just couldn't become a coach or do this work, being teaching, etc., because I had this belief that I wouldn't, not good enough and didn't belong in that field. Then once I cleared it, I was able to use my superconscious, step into my intuition, all my information, and create everything that I am here today, the logo, the company, everything, these programs, this group. And I'm so proud of that because I love what I'm doing. I'm so passionate about it. And I'm loving serving others, so you too can go out and create what it is that you love. Because it's all there, you've just got to take the action. And you've got to know what you're going for. Sometimes it's hard because we have too much resistance. So then we have our third consciousness, our conscious, which is just our ego. It's our thought patterns. It wants us to go out and have fun and jump out of an airplane and go on missions and go have adventures and just get out there and take action. And our conscious, it doesn't know anything about, it doesn't work in with the unconscious or anything. It's its own thought patterns. So a great example around that is our conscious wants to climb a tree. So we go and climb that tree and we're getting up to a certain height, and we're looking down over the valley or the house or whatever. And then an unconscious will pop up and say, stop, you're getting too high. What if you fall out of the tree and die? Remember that when you're a 3-year-old, you rolled off and fell off the bed and it hurt. This is the same experience. So your unconscious will put up resistance to climbing that tree. So now you've got your unconscious and your conscious at each other. See, the higher you climb that tree, the more resistance, the more sweats, the more anxiety you're going to get by that feeling of fear from your unconscious. Now, climbing that tree, you're eventually going to stop as a conscious pattern. And stop and go, right, this is high enough, this is enough. There's too much resistance, there's too much fear of falling, and then you'll just stop. So there, our conscious and unconscious aren't getting along because the conscious just wants to get the best view, look down the valley, look out to sea, look over the houses, whichever. We then have our superconscious, which is the information of how to climb the tree, which tree to climb, which tree's got the best view. Don't climb that tree because it might be rotten, or you can't see where you need to see. So that's your intuition telling you which tree to climb, which is your superconscious. So we can see that with that tree could be our true nature and purpose. That tree can be what we want to create in life. Our conscious wants to go for it. Our unconscious is giving our resistance. And if we allow it to step into our superconscious, our intuition, we get the information to create that. So everything with my company here, with the naming, the branding, and everything has all come from my intuition. You know, I've always loved yellow, and the yellow just came through with the kuru and everything to create it. So it was really powerful when I just allowed for my intuition for everything to come through. So yeah. So then we have our 3 forms of consciousness. Now, if we go back to think about when we're born as a baby, how do you think? How many memories do you think we have of traumatic experience at the age of 2 or 3 months old? Now, imagine lining up 100 babies, saying to babies, "You need to experience love. You know, you're not good enough." But simply they have no idea what you're talking about. So apart from our memories from mum and dad, we're all born the same. It's only the experiences, especially between the age of 0 and 7, that we experience that you can actually realize that we have a traumatic experience or resistance to taking action something. So yeah, so that's very, very powerful when you think about it that way. We all have our journeys, we all have our true nature and purpose, why we're here, why we're on this planet, but we all have different experiences from growing up. You know, if you're at that 5-year-old or 6-year-old, as we talk about in the educational video, that fell over in the front of the class and everybody laughed at them. You know, that child has experience that cannot public speak. So all its life will have resistance to talking in front of people. And it's just a memory. It's not true. It's just a memory the unconscious holds on to of getting humiliated, feeling uncomfortable, feeling in pain. So therefore, you can't get up in front and talk to people. Now, who gets that? Who understands that we're all born very, very much the same, passed from parent memories, that everything in our life growing up is different based on our experiences as a child. Especially as a 3 or 4-year-old, staying with family members and a grandfather yells at us, tells us to do something that we just don't believe we can do because we haven't experienced it yet. We put up a belief that I can't do that. He's yelling at me. She's yelling at me. I can't do that. What am I supposed to do? You put up a memory that you're just not good enough. There's something wrong with me, maybe. You could put up a memory. There's something wrong with me because I can't do what I'm being told to, and they're yelling at me. I really want to do it, but I don't know how to pick up those toys, or I don't know how to do this. Simply because we just haven't learned it yet. And that can go for so many things as a child. And if we take on these beliefs, we'll spend our whole life trying to solve them and figure out what it is and why it's there. And that's how I got to what I'm doing now. Is I wanted to learn and understand what are these things holding us up from taking action. Why can we just not have our true nature and purpose? Why can't we just go for what is our dharma in life, what we love, and just take action around it? Because we're all born as those 100 babies. They're all born for a purpose, to be on this planet, to be in this world, for the journey that we're here. And that's the beautiful thing about it. We're going to do a recode on that tonight to remove resistance, any resistance you're having to being your true nature and purpose. What you're born with, your dharma, what you're here for. And that's so powerful because when we come into our true nature and purpose, we simply can take the action on it once we remove the resistance. Once we remove the problems, I guess you could say, the uncomfortable memories from the past. Now, they don't all happen between the age of 0 to 7. It's just those ones that do happen, especially between the age of 0 and 5, we haven't formed that consciousness yet. We're still living with our superconscious and unconscious. The conscious doesn't start forming within us between the age of 4 to 5 and then normally complete by 8. If we have a traumatic experience as a 3 or 4-year-old, it goes straight, the memory goes straight into our unconscious. So that 9 times out of 10 we can't remember it. But the beautiful thing about it is the superconscious does, because it knows, because it assisted in putting it there. Your superconscious, your unconscious was there to create that memory. So if we look at consciousness overall, conscious, unconscious, and superconscious are all just past memories. I want everybody here to take a breath. Breathe in and breathe out. Now that breath is now in the past. It's now just a memory, and we cannot get that second back. It's gone. And that's how fast life is. So it's very, very important in this life that we are in our true nature and purpose. And if you haven't started taking the action around that yet, let's spend some time here today unpacking and doing a recode around it and seeing what comes through. If you are, even step more into your true nature and purpose and see what your next actions are. Because this work is really, really powerful, because your superconscious, like that computer hard drive, is just ready to give the information to you. So we think about it from a thought process. Thoughts are things, what we think about, we bring about. You're either in creation, taking action, thinking about creating what it is that you love, your true nature and purpose, etc. Or you're sitting in your fear, your discomfort, your negative beliefs, self-limiting beliefs, and not taking the action around it. So we want to shift you over to your desired reality, get into that actual state where you're flowing, taking action, just living in alignment with your fullest expression, and being in your true nature and purpose. And then your superconscious gives you all the information for that. Sounds simple, and it is, but we have to take the action. That's the painful thing, is taking the action. What will others think? Am I capable? Am I good enough? What if I get it wrong? What will my family think? What will my friends think? You know, because sometimes our true nature and purpose can be the opposite to everything we've ever done before in our lives. Because everything else we've done from dysfunction to try to resolve something or heal something. And simply once we remove that, we can start taking action on the true nature and purpose. But I can promise you, when you're in the flowing of your true nature and purpose, it's a beautiful place to be, and it just flows and it's easy. It's so much more easy in life to create from your true nature and purpose than it is to fight it, creating something else for some other reason. You know, doing a business or a job just because the money comes in to pay for the boat, the house, the car, the holidays, but you don't really enjoy the job. You know, just imagine if you were to get out of that job and step in your true nature and purpose and create what you love, how easier and more fun life would be. And you'll still have the money in the house and everything else. It'll come into nutrition as it does from a health point of view as well, because you're simply coming from a higher energy and a higher frequency of true nature. So very beautiful in that sense. So let's get started. What I'd like you to do is grab a piece of paper. I'm sure you may have one there or not. If not, run away and get a piece of paper. And I'd like you to write down, I choose the end result of my true nature and purpose. Now, this is one of the 4 orientational choices that we go by in this work. We'll just do a bit of chatting in case you're waiting at that paper. There's a 4 orientational. Last week we did health and vitality, which is so important to be in their health. We worked on the chakras. And if you haven't watched that video, shoot on back, it's there in the Facebook page. And then there's also the other 2, living a life I love, just because I love it, just living a life I love and stepping into what would I be doing if time and money wasn't a problem. And then we've got to choose to be the prominent creative force. And that's just taking action on whatever it is for you, whatever your true choices or your 4 choices are, just taking the action on it because you love it. For no other reason, just because you love it. So we have these 4 orientational choices that we live by, which is really powerful. Within this work, we have our true choices. What's most special to me? What do I want to choose and take the action on? You know, for me, I have 10 true choices. I'll be the best dad I can be. Create a massive coaching company, work on the mental, make a big difference in the mental health system in New Zealand, etc. So I have true choices to me that I'm working on, that I'm creating. The 4 orientations, what we're going through at the moment, and this is the 3rd one. I choose to be my true nature and purpose. So what I'd like you to do now is, and make sure if you can't do this if you're driving, But just pull over and close your eyes if you are, or for those that are just sitting at home, make sure you're centered, your legs aren't crossed. And just close your eyes and take a couple of breaths. And I want you just to think about what it is to you to be in your true nature and purpose, your Dharma. Living in alignment with your fullest expression. It may be the best parent you choose to be. Maybe a musician, an artist, serving others. It's why you're here, that creator. I choose to live my true nature and purpose. And I want you to notice what you're doing. Where are you? Take a breath and step into that. My true nature and purpose. My Dharma, why I'm on this planet, why I'm here. Notice what's around you. That's it. I really want you to step into it. Notice what's around you, see it. You may have smells, touch the beautiful things around you in this beautiful creation. May involve children, writing a book, whatever it is for you, my true nature and purpose. And I want you to notice that beautiful feeling around it, just knowing that you created it. You created it all the way from the start. And you're now living it, being it, breathing it. Coming from your beautiful heart centered. Just knowing you're doing all this just because you love it. That's it. Just notice everything about it. I choose my true nature and purpose. And I want you to notice ahead of you in time, taking action and achieving this true nature and purpose. I want you to go forward 6 months and just notice it all. Notice all the achievements and taking action, whatever it is for you. And just notice how in 6 months' time, where are you at? The steps you're taking. What have you achieved more than what you have now? Your future self. Just notice it all. Then keeping your eyes closed, then I want you to come back to now, to your current reality. And then notice there's a gap between the two. Things need to happen to have that desire to realize those choices, those actions in 6 months. And I just want you to ask yourself, what are my next actions I need to take to be where I need to be in 6 months? And just allow it to come through. And take a big breath and open up your eyes. Feel free to throw in the chat what came through for you. What is your true nature and purpose? And when we do that simple process, we can actually see the actions that we need to take from our superconscious, from our intuitive self, our intuition. And how powerful is that? So you can literally live life from focusing on what you want, what's it like now, then what actions do I need to take? There's a beautiful meditation and some other information, lots of information on that in the masterclass. For those of you that wanting more, but just stepping into that basic structure, where are we going to be in 6 or 12 months? What's it like now? And what actions do I need to take? And just remind you, beautiful people, too, that the reason we do it closed eye is so our conscious can't see anything going on, so it closes down our perception of thought. Our ego can't take over and overthink. And then our unconscious visualizes that picture that in our mind, and that believes it to be true. That is true to the unconscious, therefore it puts up the resistance. Now you're unconscious in that sense of looking at that picture, because we have you and then we have your mind, your unconscious, two different things. And I'll show it to you. What I'd like you to do is to close your eyes again and picture an orange. Just picture that orange that you're creating. That's it. Beautiful, healthy, fresh orange. Now open up your eyes. Who created the orange? Throw in the chat if you know. Who created that orange? Your mind did. That's right. Your unconscious created it. So who's looking at it? Who's looking at the orange? Beautiful. You are. So we know that you, unconscious mind, are two different things. So you can picture it and look at it and say, I want that. How powerful is that? Knowing that you created orange, but you're actually looking at it. So we know that unconscious and conscious, with stepping in with our eyes closed, we can actually get the feeling around it all. We get the feeling, the touch, where we are, notice what we're doing, listen to the waves, the beach, hear the birds, the natives, whatever it may be. That's when we can work on the resistance, because it comes into your field. Awesome. Eileen, we've got want most to help others, love it, to live their best life physically, mentally, spiritually, want to help them build their blueprint to this. Awesome. Love it. Serving others. Great post. Thank you for sharing. I love it. Excellent. Rightio. So we've all got our true nature written down. We've got one there. Beautiful. That for the others, you don't have to share it in the chat, but you can if you choose. Just we've got it written down by now, and let's do this beautiful recode. So how the recode works is that we simply, obviously it's closed eye. What we're going to basically do is you're going to give me permission to access your superconscious. Now, I'm pretty sure most of you watched the education video, but if you're watching this recording, please make sure you watch the education video at the top, just so you can get your unconscious and your conscious on board as to how this recode works. It's really, really important that we're in the right structure. The structure of our desired reality. I'm doing it, focusing on taking action on what we love. So close your eyes and just step into this beautiful choice of true nature and purpose. I choose the end result to live my true nature and purpose. Some beautiful breath. Breathe it out. And just making sure you're well centered, your legs are crossed. And I want you to notice what you're doing in true nature and purpose. Who's with you? What are you doing? What's around you? I choose my true nature and purpose. And when we do this process, you'll simply have more satisfaction, less pain. And you'll better remove resistance to taking the action around your true nature and purpose. That's it. Now, superconscious, unconscious, and consciousness, thank you so much for doing this beautiful process with us today. I want you to set the intention to get the most out of the process. And just remember, no parts of you dying. All we're simply doing is removing resistance of feelings and emotions to taking action on whatever it is for you. We're simply removing the emotions and feelings off the memories. The memory becomes wisdom, and therefore you're able to take action. And the most important thing after these sessions is you write down whatever it is for you that came up, and then you take that action. So important you take that action after these sessions, because the information that comes through is true. It's from your intuition, and if you take the action around that, then the unconscious starts to believe that you truly want this end result, this true nature and purpose. Excellent. Let's just take another breath and connect to source. Just create this beautiful ball of energy just above your head. And in this ball of energy, have this beam coming down from above, from heaven, from the universe, from source, whatever you want to call it. This beam of energy pouring down through the stars, into the earth atmosphere, down through the clouds, the roof of the house if you're inside. Down on this ball of energy sitting just above your head. Fill up that ball of energy with this beautiful beam of white energy. Just notice how beautiful and white the beam is. The ball of energy is now becoming white. And have that ball of energy now touch the top of your head, beaming this white energy in to the top of your head. And now have it pouring down into your body, filling up your whole body with this beautiful white energy. Just create a wave of this beautiful white energy, starting from the top of your head, going down here through your head, your shoulders, your body, your arms, out through your fingers, down through your legs, ankles, feet, and toes, then down through the bottom of your feet into the beautiful earth, earthing you out. And coming back up around into the top of your head, and just have this beautiful flow of this white energy pouring into your body, going down through your feet and up around to the top of your head again. I want you to pour this beautiful white energy into your whole body. The back, shoulders, elbows, fingers, toes, the butt, filling up the whole body with this white energy. That's it. Now when you're sitting in this beautiful state of this white energy that's pouring into your body, which is love and gratitude for all things, it's the highest frequency you can have. I want you to leave your body where it is. Step out of your body as your superconscious. Go up and look down at you, sitting wherever it is for you, wherever you are now. Just notice where you're sitting and look down and just notice how full of this white energy you are. How beautiful that is. That's it. And now I want you to go back down into your body and just set that intention. I choose to live my true nature and purpose. That's it. Just step into whatever it is for you. That end result. See it, breathe it, smell it, touch it. You're serving others. You may see Zoom calls, have thousands of people or hundreds of people on your Zoom calls doing one-on-ones. The coaching, serving others, the invoices are coming in, the testimonials are coming in. Whatever it is for you, just notice that beautiful desired reality. And then just give me permission to access your superconscious. You can say it out loud. I give Greg permission to access my superconscious. Superconscious, are you there? Yes, cool. Superconscious, you can see this beautiful choice we're choosing today. My true nature and purpose. Can you please create the perfect treatment plan, please? And bring all resistance to this true choice up into the active experience. That's it. And now what I'd like you to do is just choose a number between 1 and 10. 1 is there's no resistance to creating the true nature and purpose, and 10 there's a lot of resistance. Just notice what number comes through. So 1 is you're just taking action easily now on your true nature and purpose. You have it now, you're being, you're flowing. And 10 is I just can't get started. I just don't know what it is. I'm stuck. And a 5 would be you're isolating, you're having some of your true nature and purpose, and sometimes you're not. You're having more of it, and you're having less, fluctuating. You're isolating between the two. And just choose that number. That's just for us to consciously have a number so we can compare the difference at the end of the recode. It has nothing to do with the process. Now, stepping into a desired reality, just choose it. Notice it, see it, times all those beautiful feelings and emotions by 10, times them by 20, times them by 100. And choose to live my true nature and purpose. Coming from my fullest expression, just knowing that I created it all, that I am it, being my Dharma. Superconscious, can you please treat all feminine and masculine beliefs, please? Superconscious, also please treat that fear of that little girl or that little boy, that little child. Please treat all the fear. Please treat it the perfect way in the perfect order and do a massive change history. Please treat all the sabotaging beliefs. Not good enough, not capable, not worthy, insignificant, not perfect, don't belong. Please treat all the beliefs, please, sabotaging beliefs, treat them in the perfect way in the perfect order and do a massive change history. Just like that metaphor I used at the beginning with the tree, subconscious, can you please treat any resistance to climbing that tree, please? So we can just climb to the top branch with no resistance at all. Please treat it the perfect way in the perfect order and do a massive change history. Yeah, that's it. Just sit on that one for a little bit. That's it. Subconscious, please treat all gains as judgments, second intentions, family history, 4 generations, please. Treat it all the perfect way in the perfect order and do a massive change history. Subconscious, please treat all beliefs of having to get it right. What will others think? Is it safe? Treat it all the perfect way in the perfect order and do a massive change history. There you go. Subconscious, please treat all pain around the neck and shoulders, please. Treat it the perfect way in the perfect order and do a massive change history. There's some resistance around the colour green. For one of you, can you please treat that in the perfect way in the perfect order and do a massive change history. Subconscious, please treat all part personalities, the inner child, the protector, controller. Treat all part personalities in the perfect way in the perfect order and do a massive change history. Good. Doing really well. Subconscious, can you also please treat past memories from my brother? There's some resistance and brother coming through. Please treat it the perfect way in the perfect order and do a massive change history. And subconscious, please create the perfect treatment plan. Please put this beautiful ring of white energy out in front of you, this beautiful circle, and pour all resistance into that circle, please, to bring the resistance number down to close as, or if not possible, to a 0 or a 1. Put all resistance into that ring, please, and treat it all the perfect way in the perfect order and do a massive change history. Subconscious, please treat all body systems, organs, blood flow, nervous system, skin, bones, joints, structure. Please treat all body systems in the perfect way in the perfect order and do a massive change history. Subconscious, also please treat all chakras in our body systems, please. Lower chakra, sacral chakra, heart chakra, third eye chakra, and upper chakras of connection to source, please. Treat all chakras in the perfect way in the perfect order and do a massive change history. Subconscious, what I'd like you to do is just to go up out of your body, just leaving your body there sitting in this beautiful white energy. And I want you to look towards your past. I want you to go down your timeline, please. I want you to go all the way down your timeline to the very first event where you put limitation on being your true nature and purpose. Go back to the very first event. Yes, please. That's it. Go down to that little child, that little you, and go back into that very first event, just looking down at this very first event that you created. If something happened and you put a limitation on being your true nature and purpose, that's it. To see your younger self. And looking at that event, I now want you to create a new event. Just before this old event, I want you to create this new event, which is all about fun and laughter and being positive. This new event serves you. It's here to strengthen you, to power you into your true nature and purpose. It's here to make you laugh and be positive. It's more exciting, this new event. And I want you to push this new event down into your timeline. That's it. Push it down into your timeline before the old event. Before the old first event. That's it. And then looking at this new event that you've created, I now want you to turn and look back towards now and just notice how all the events have changed because of this new event. You no longer have that limitation. So I want you to slowly now come up through the years from this new event, coming up through the years of a child growing older. And just notice, because of this new event, how all the old events have changed. So come up through your teens, your 20s, your 30s, all the way back to now. Just notice how it's changed. Notice how there's very little resistance in taking action to creating a life I love. My true nature and purpose, coming from intuition. And now I want you to look to your future self. And just notice all those actions you're taking, how easy they are. Because you have so much less resistance. Subconscious, please do a massive change history, please, so it's all true. Thank you. Beautiful. Superconscious, please treat any emotions from the past and present too, please, and past events. Please treat it all the perfect way, the perfect order, and do a massive change history. And Superconscious, please ground all the memories we touched today and reconnect everything back into the matrix of the universe, including your conscious, unconscious, and superconscious. Past memories, shadow memories, all levels of philosophy. Please ground all the memories, thank you, in all aspects of consciousness. And now what I'd like you to do is to step into the actions you're going to take to have more of what you choose, to have more true nature and purpose. Notice what those actions are. Step into them. That's it. Get the feeling around them. And live my true nature and purpose. Notice what those actions are. Experiencing those actions, I want you to notice all the actions you're going to take to teach your unconscious that this is true. We can have anything we want. Excellent. And then take a couple of breaths. Breathing in. And come on back and open your eyes. Open your eyes, twiddle your toes. And just take a big breath again and just write down what those actions are. Those actions that came through from our intuition and superconscious, just notice what those actions are. Just notice how powerful they are. And that's how beautiful we can be guided taking action in our creations by being in our desired reality. And also, if you want to throw in the chat what number you were beforehand, what number you are now, that would be fantastic, so you can see that shift. Adeline, thanks so much for throwing a 5 in there. That may be your before or after number if you want to put your second number. 5 now, 1. Awesome, Wendy, that's fantastic. Love it. And that's really beautiful. We can show ourselves by doing the superconscious recode and the other processes that we do in the masterclass, the one-on-one coaching. is we can actually remove that resistance. And that's just awesome when you're going from a 5, which is right in the middle, taking action sometimes, getting a little bit stuck, taking actions, getting a bit stuck, isolating. Being a 5 to a 1 means you're in flow. So taking the action now, you'll find there's very little resistance, which is so cool. Because that resistance that's stopping us taking the actions is the problem. And that's what this beautiful work, we're able to remove that. This is why this modality is the fastest on the planet to do it. And that's why I'm sharing it with you. It's because we can have these shifts in one session and just be able to go out and take action. You know, and that's what I love about this work, sharing it with you, because if you learn this work, you'll never need anything else. You can simply just have whatever it is that you love. In this case today, your true nature and purpose. So yeah, thank you so much for coming along. If there's any questions, please feel free to throw them in the chat. I love questions. And we will see you next week. Next week's going to be, I choose to be the predominant creative force in your life, which is taking the action just because you love it. Now, if any else of you would like to have a free session with me, you're more than welcome to. Just Kirsten will throw the link in the chat there, I think. Lovely, thank you, perfect timing. And you're welcome to come along. Oh, awesome, and leave 5 down to 2, that's excellent, love it. You're welcome to come along, and actually we can work on something specific for you in this free one-on-one session. We can actually look at exactly something, a creation that you're wanting to create, but there's too much resistance. Maybe it's like a 5 or a 6 or a 7 or an 8 or a 9. Oh, awesome, Judy. Thank you. A 4 to a 2. That's excellent. And that just shows you that you can remove the resistance in a session. It's so cool. So I love it. So if anyone wants to have a one-on-one, when you come along, we can remove the resistance to taking action. And I'd love it if you wanted to come a one-on-one, bring along a creation that you're stuck with. The bigger the stuck, the better, because then we got more resistance to move in the field. Hey, you're so welcome. Thanks so much for watching this, and we'll see you next week. For those of you that are watching the replay, 7 AM New Zealand time, you can come along and we do a free call every week. Excellent. Have a fantastic day. Thanks so much for being here.